A well-worked Swiss Army knife gets some maintenance. This includes cleaning, 3 simple methods for sharpening, as well as stropping, lubrication, disinfecting, and adding a fob or lanyard. This blade has a gummy residue from opening boxes. Using a plant-based oil, such as grapeseed, is a quick and food-safe way to clean the surfaces. Next, washing the blade and paracord fob in soapy water using brushes. Cleaning the knife allows for easier examination, and I can see that the tools are in good shape. The main blade has no major dings on the edge, but shows some minor scratches. I begin with removing the light scratches from the blade. I hold the blade against a flat surface to prevent personal injury and not to damage the blade. If the scratches are deeper, I might start using a 1500 and then 2000 grit wet dry sandpaper. I am using automotive rubbing compound and then less abrasive polishing compound. Using the same automotive rubbing and polishing compound also renews the scales. The blades need to be sharpened at a specific angle for the best cutting action. Victorinox, like many other manufacturers, recommends the blade be held between 15 to 20 degrees to the abrasive. An old Boy Scout method is the simple 2-penny jig. This works for both large and smaller blades by keeping the sharpening angle between 15 and 20 degrees respectively. Gluing the pennies together makes it easier to launch the blade. There are many methods to sharpen a blade. The 3 methods mentioned here vary in cost and complexity, but finding a method that is personally acceptable is the real goal. The least expensive method is using sandpaper of differing grits. The sharpening surface is a smooth and straight length of hardwood. Next, pieces of varying grit wet-dry sandpaper are cut to fit. These are lightly glued to the wood so that they can be replaced when worn. Wet-dry paper can be used with water as a lubricant and to flush away the debris. Grits I'm using are 500, 1200, and 2000, and I may only use the 500 grit if the blade edge shows any dings. I use the 2 pennies to set the angle and then make sure that the blade edge is in contact with the sharpening surface. I apply light, even pressure and sweep the blade across the surface of the abrasive. After several passes in each direction, I closely examine the cutting edge. I do not want to see any dings on the edge. Rather, I'm looking for a consistently sharp and shiny edge having the same cutting edge width along the entire length of the blade. If so, I move to the next finer paper and repeat the process. Another method is using a commercial sharpener, such as a small Victorinox ceramic where the sharpening angles are preset. This simple tool provides an adequate edge for a pocket knife with minimal effort. Yet another method is using either natural or man-made sharpening stones. These stones do last a long time, but come at a considerably greater cost. One could use 400 and 1000 grit stones to easily maintain pocket knives and other tools. A strop can be used to complete the sharpening process by aligning and polishing the blade edge. A stropping surface can be made by gluing leather to a flat length of wood. I happen to be using the smooth side of the leather, though either side can be used giving slightly different results. I apply some stropping compound, having a 5 to 7 micron grit. I use the 2 pennies to set the angle and assure the edge is in contact with the stropping surface. I apply light, even pressure and sweep the blade across the stropping surface. I make several passes and change to the other side of the blade. This process is repeated for about a minute or so. The blade should slice through the paper easily and consistently along the full length of the blade without tearing or dragging. If you happen to be a person who uses the toothpick or tweezers, then you might want to consider disinfecting the knife. Give the knife a quick wash or rinse following the sharpening. The CDC recommends 4 teaspoons of household bleach mixed with 1 quart of room temperature water. Let the knife soak for about 2 minutes. Finally, lubricate the knife pivots with a food-safe NSF H1 rated oil. This Victorinox oil is viscous, and the tools need to be manipulated for the oil to distribute. The total maintenance time was about 20 minutes. The diamond knot, lanyard, or fob is a nice addition to the knife. I'm using 550 Paracord. The small split ring is from the knife and it is more easily placed on the cord at this time. The cord is placed around 2 fingers. With the rightmost paracord leg, make a loop exactly as it appears. Place that loop above the other paracord leg. Bring that second leg around and into the loop under the paracord and back up out of the loop. This will create a rather nice looking figure 8. Pay special attention to the diamond created in the middle of the figure 8. Bring one leg of the paracord around and up through that diamond-shaped hole. Repeat this with the other leg of the paracord. Pull the 2 ends of the paracord and the knot begins to form. It will require some tugging and kneading to properly form the knot. Once the knot is formed, the ends of the paracord are cut to the desired length and melted with a lighter or hot knife. As it is often said, the best pocket knife is the one you have with you. Even better when it is working well and you made it so. Remember to adapt, make, and be resilient.